Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tired Mums podcast. This is episode 22.
Woohoo!
22. We love you.
22, how are you?
And we're tired. What's new?
Yeah, that's...
How many other rhymes can we do? Stop. Everyone's like cringing and they're turning it off already.
The only
Sorry.
other word I had was poo, and I'm sick of talking about poos in my house at the moment.
Far out. I know. Oh.
Poos and bums and wheeze. It's all...
If you've got small kids, you'll get it.
It's not me and my husband.
Oh my God, imagine if it was.
Well, we kind of inadvertently are because it's, anyway, the chat of a 4-year-old.
Oh, far out. You poo-poo, bum-bum, wee-wee head. I said to my kids, like, please don't say that. So they say banana wee. I don't know why. They're like, yeah, banana wee. I'm like, well, maybe I guess that's better than poo-poo, bum, head, butthole.
I get called a stinky vagina face.
Kids are savage.
So savage.
Far out. Anyway, what are we talking about today?
No, Brie, what are we talking about today? You lead the convo. Let me ask you because you have been seeing signs, you say.
Oh, yes. Before we do that, though, we just want to send a quick shout out.
Oh.
Because we were featured on a podcast directory website.
Yes.
And we're so stoked and we're very thankful.
Yes.
And
so
we don't really know how it happened, but we are absolutely amazed. So thank you so much to
Cheryl Gladman for the Great
Gladman.
Australian Pods on Instagram. It's a website as well. So jump on and there's a huge list of amazing Australian podcasters, which we are now a part of because we are podcasters apparently.
I reckon this means we've made it.
I think so.
I think being posted onto something and not being aware of it at all.
3 weeks later, I was like, what's this?
What is this? It's so cool. Thank you, Cheryl. And thank you for running that because I've had a look and found a whole heap of podcasts I didn't even know was out there.
Yes.
Were out there, sorry, bad English. And it's all categorized. So, you know, if you're into fashion or trucks or whatever, it's all there, my friend.
Support Australians.
Yes. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We love it. Yes, so I have been seeing, so I've had, just for reference, since like the whole of April was just a complete SHIT show for me and my family and my extended family. There's a lot going on. I ended up getting shingles and during that time before I ended up getting shingles, so we had COVID, and I know I've talked about this already, so sorry if it's boring, but so we had COVID and then I was like 4 days. We did our special episode with Soph from Opspot. Shout out. If you haven't seen that, that's our first third wheeling episode, which is our little spin-off here on the Tired Mums podcast.
Because we have guests
Because we have guests, because we are a real podcast. We are on a real podcast website. Anyway, so yeah, I ended up, so those 4 days I was fine and then ended up getting the shingles. And during that week, I kept seeing redback spiders everywhere. And if you don't know, which you probably don't, I was apparently bitten by one as a child. Not sure if that was actually true or not. Definitely was some sort of spider bite. And I survived to tell the tale. But yeah, so I kept seeing them and I thought nothing of it because that is how I am as a person. I tend to notice things that are happening consistently and think, I'm not going to lean into that because I am scared, to be quite frank, that anything in the spiritual realm that I acknowledge will enter my life, which might sound really weird to some people who think, you know, whatever. But I've had lots of run-ins with things like this and every single time I'm like, nope, it's not a thing.
Just ignore it.
It's not real. So I didn't pay much attention to it, right? So, you know, there was like 4 instances of redbacks outside and I'm like, oh, you know, winter's coming, it's colder, maybe they just like that, whatever. Been a lot of rain. And then there was one on me. Like, if that isn't a loud enough sign. And like literally just looked down and it was on me. I don't know how it got there. I had tracksuit pants on, which if you've been following for a while, you'll be like, oh my God, woman, you're wearing tracksuit pants. Yes, I was wearing tracksuit pants. It was cold and I was very sick.
And when we're home, we get into the clothes that we're going to get food on them and stuff, you know, and cooking. So like, don't think that we're just rocking down, you know.
We are not wearing like our nice stuff around when we're out of the house, yes, but not to
We get home and get
normal life.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah, we get into our slouch clothes. That's my affectionate term.
Yeah. And also not saying that we look amazing. We're just saying we are smart enough we get dressed and we get home and we get changed to protect our clothes.
And also to be more comfortable for being at home. So anyway, in my slouch clothes, this giant redback was on my knee, and I made sure I didn't scream because I don't want to teach my kids that bugs are scary.
Oh, God.
So I subtly flicked it away with a drink bottle that I already had in my hand, and I was like, and then I grabbed it with a little bit of paper and chucked it outside. And I was like, what is going on? And then I was talking to my sister, who she has a lot of the same things happen to her when life feels like it's really hard. There are things that happen. And I was like, there are redbacks all around me. And she's like, well, have you looked up what it means? And so I look it up, and it literally is like the redback is a sign to let go and sort of submit in a way to what's happening for you, and to not try and be on top of everything. And I was like, oh my goodness. Because the weeks prior to that, because I don't know if anyone else does this as a mum with their mum friends, but I'm prone to a voice message, a long one.
Oh, you love one.
I love them. And all my other friends love them. Georgia finds it a bit overwhelming, which is fair because it is. But I was saying to everyone while I had the shingles, while I was really struggling, I'm like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do less. It's not even an option. Like, how can you do less? And we've sort of touched on this in our Mother's Day special. Thank you for the love on that one. But yeah, I just didn't know what was going on. And that spider and that description, I was like, that is a sign.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting sign. So I do believe in the signs. There have been many times in my life where things like this have happened. The most recent one, a couple of years ago, I was having quite a hard time with some family stuff, and it was just really tumultuous. I didn't know where things were going, and I kept seeing tawny frog mouths in the day. And tawny frog mouths don't come out in the day.
Oh.
Yes, and I saw them 3 times, 2 of them together. And this is so weird. So a couple of times I was wandering the block and they were on the power lines, and I remember looking up and being like, what are they doing out in the day? So that was twice when I was walking the block trying to gather myself. And then New Year's Eve, I think it was the year I broke my legs.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a terrible year, 2024. On New Year's Eve, I was meant to go to a party, but I was having such a hard time. I was like, I can't manage it. So I went for a big walk around the block. It was dark, and then I sat down in my yard, and at this time we had one of those really old Hills hoist. If you're a proper Aussie from the 90s or whatever, you'd know what that is. We had one of those, and I looked up, and I SHIT not both of them, the same, like the little ones, looking at me from right above my head.
So what do they mean?
So they're a sign from the angels or whatever, that it's like a guiding positive spirit thing. Meaning like that you're going to be okay.
Oh.
And I fully just burst into tears, and I was like, that's definitely something.
Yeah.
The fact that I saw them in the day, and then they're right there in my backyard. And then a couple days prior to that, I actually lost my phone. I put it on, this is such a mum thing to do. I put it on the bonnet of my car and loaded the kids in. I just drove away.
Oh, brilliant. Great.
Anyway, one of my neighbours found it and took it with her to go to her waxing appointment or whatever. I don't know this neighbour, but she assumed that it belonged to someone in the street because it was just off the footpath near my driveway. So her plan was to come back and knock on everyone's doors and be like, are they your kids? Because there's pictures of my kids. Well, they was in the back at that time. So I lost my phone. So this was a couple of days prior. So I'd seen the tawnies. I lost my phone. This angel of a woman brings it back to my house. And so what happened was I was putting my oldest son to bed. The little one was already asleep. I'm on the landline phone to my husband I don't know where my phone is. What the heck?
I love that you had a landline.
Oh, only because I live with
That's right,
our my grandfather-in-law. And I'm calling my husband I don't know what to do. He's like, I'll try and find my phone, which I didn't even know I had set up. And he found it, and it was at one of the schools in this area. I'm not going to say it. Whoops, nearly slipped. And then he's like, oh, some kid's got it. It's gone. I was like, oh, no. And then he rings me back on the landline while I'm putting the oldest one to sleep. And he's like, go into the street now. I'm like, what? He's like, your phone is driving up our street. You need to wait there. I'm like, what? So I run down the driveway and I'm standing like looking, and then this car pulls past and I pointed at her and I did the phone symbol, and then she winds down the window and she's like, yes, this is yours, right? And I was like, yes. And then I had $50 in the back and I tried to give it to her and she just wouldn't take it. She's like, no, I won't take it. She's like, I knew this was yours and you've got beautiful kids. You spend that money on them. And then like 2 days later, it was the New Year's Eve where I saw the Tawnies, and I was like, this is definitely a sign from the universe.
Absolutely.
So it's very interesting.
But you are like resisting. I mean, you sound like you're kind of convinced there were signs, but before
definitely
then,
signs.
But you were like resisting in that stuff. You don't really want to lean into that. Like,
I'm happy to notice the signs, but I don't want the presence and involvement that it comes with, if that makes sense. Like, I'm happy to notice and be like, okay, someone's telling me something, but I don't really want to know who.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times where I saw some bad stuff, and that really freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
One time I can recall in Queensland when I grew up, there's a lot of flooding every year, which I'm sure everyone in Australia has heard about that on the news and whatnot. And there was one year in particular, I think I was maybe 18, 17, something like that. And my friend and I went out for the movies and we were driving home and we went past this park that I used to play at as a little kid. I had my first birthday party there. The whole thing was pretty much flooded, but the swings weren't. And I love the swings. And I like as a kid, it was my favorite thing to do. Sit and sing on the swings like most kids. So we were on the swings just like talking and whatever. And then there was 2 sets of swings, and like completely true, the other set of swings, there was no wind. One of them just started swinging, like proper swinging, and there was no one around, and it was night, and we did not touch those swings, and we fully freaked out, and we're like, what the heck is that? And so we jumped in the car and we took off because we were like, what the hell, and we were really freaked out.
Yep.
And then there was another time, a freaky time. My husband, he'd just gotten they'd moved to an office and then they'd sort of merged with another business. And then randomly the cameras turned on at like 3:00 in the morning until 8 a.m. There was a golden orb just floating around all of the equipment that they were using for the new business, like from that business that joined with them.
Yeah.
Just floating the whole time like a golden orb. And as soon as it hit like 8:02 or something, gone. So weird. And apparently the golden orb is a positive thing, but like I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, I saged my house recently, which I've never done. I bought the sage after that golden orb, but then kids, I forgot about it. But I've saged the house and I opened all the doors and windows and I said, I renounce any bad energy in this house as I walked around, and I felt like a crazy person. But feel better? The other thing I said, and then I started fully crying, was like, thank you for teaching me whatever these lessons are, but I don't need you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I burst into tears because like it's been a really hard month and a half, whatever. And then I felt I felt like something had shifted. And I don't know if that was just my brain being like, because you hear about the clearing of energy and all this stuff, but maybe it's true.
Yeah.
don't know.
You need to book in with my chick. I mean,
you've sent me her details.
You just do it. Like, I think
I'm scared.
Yeah. Well, I get it.
I've got one more, and then I want to hear about yours. This one's funny. So my husband and I got married 2019, right at the end of the year, right before COVID lockdown, Melbourne, all that hectic stuff happened. And then when we were allowed to be free at the end of the year, before we were pregnant with our first son, we went up to Queensland to visit my family for Christmas and all of that. And we kept seeing, you're going to laugh, the number 69 everywhere. Like everywhere, like to a point where it wasn't even funny. Like we get petrol, it's $1.69 and then it's $69 exactly to fill it up. Like we stayed at a hotel, it was number 69. We were in room 69. Like
what?
We walk down the street, I drop something, I look up, it's number 69. My parents get delivered a letter, it's the wrong house, it's number 69. And we were like, what? Again, apparently that's an angel number as a guiding principle. Very strange.
Not a sex act. It's a
No, well, you can take it that way if you want. But yeah, I found that really interesting. And growing up, my parents always had said that and this is probably going to sound really silly to a lot of people, but as a kid, I kind of believe it. When the street lights go off, that is like someone is sending you a message. They're on a timer and they need to turn off sometimes to preserve their energy. But
yes,
I fully believe that. And I also believe that people come back as animals.
Mm-hmm.
So that grandfather, my husband's grandfather, he passed at the end of just before Christmas last year. And there have been like 4 occasions, and with my mother-in-law, his daughter, where a dragonfly has stayed with us and flown around us and like not left us for a long time, even with kids going, "What are you doing, dragonfly?" You know, and has stayed. So my kids now think that he has become a dragonfly, and I believe it.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I fully believe it. Anyway, that's my stories.
No, that's some solace in that.
Make of it what you will, but all I'll say is I have been to a psychic once, which we've already discussed on the podcast. He got a lot of things right. He guessed what my great-grandmother used to call me. Like, how could he possibly know that?
Mm-hmm.
I never said anything or put anything on Facebook or anything like that about that.
Yep.
So I don't know, like all this stuff, like I believe in the universe signs, but the thought of opening that up is very scary.
Yeah, but you take with it what you will. You don't have to.
Well, can you have a choice? Can you be like, listen, bad people, go away, but I do want to hear from loved ones or people who are guiding? Like, is there an option for that? Because if there is, I'll do it.
Yeah. So
I'm just really nervous, Georgia. Anyway,
well,
you go. Sorry, that was a long rant.
No, the woman that I see and have seen very regularly, it's very much like grain of salt. You know, do with it what you will. You could go in X direction or Y or whatever. So it's not as if it's this is going to happen to you. Prepare. You know, it's just like. Yeah, so I mean, but it's also fun. It's not a. So
is it fun?
You don't find it fun? No,
I find it kind of scary.
Oh,
and I think I said on the pod last time that part of me is like, is this real? Like, is this actually what's going to happen? Or because I've heard this and I like how that sounds, I align and manifest to get to where they've said.
Yeah, well,
who's to know?
Well, and I
don't know.
And I think something, you know, can be said for that too, it's because I've had many a reading, and I've had readings before where they'll say like, I had to say that to you because you weren't ready to hear X, Y, and Z, but now you're at that place. So here's like a brutal, you know, here's the
Jesus.
Yeah. So I think, you know, some people are like, oh, that's just like woo-woo stuff but I find it really interesting and really helpful. And it's like a form of therapy for me. That
you've said that before too, yeah.
Yeah, that I don't want to go to speak to a actual therapist.
Just tell me what my future holds.
I just want to speak to like a woo-woo lady. But yeah, it's it's fun and it's like a releasing of energy and it's I've had people tell me stuff that there's no absolute possible way that they could know. And then I tell that person, they said that, and they're like, I've never told a single person that happened. You know, there's just absolutely no possible scenario where they would know it and to that extent. So I'm not going to go into details because it's like private stuff, but it's just, I don't know, like you also have to be open and receptive to want to hear it. Yeah. And if you're not, I feel like there's no point. What's the point of going in there and being like, oh, I'm going to trick this person? It's like, well, that's not what it's about, dude.
No. I think a lot of people go into it with that attitude though. Like, I'm not going to let you work it out.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to give you details or whatever. And it's like, well, you don't really have to because they'll pick up on it. But it's also like, if you go in with that mentality of, oh, I'm going to prove this person wrong. Well, I mean.
Well, you're not there for a purpose. You're there. Well, your purpose is to like discredit, which is not the intended purpose of their services.
Yeah. And then they'll just, well, anyway, like my chick, for instance, if anyone's interested in her, we can maybe try and get her on the pod. I don't know. She's that
would be cool.
She's busy, dude. Like but she might come on. I don't know. But she, like I think you're just kind of like wasting your breath if you try and prove them wrong, because within 2 minutes you'll be like, oh, crap, okay, you know what you're talking about.
Surely they can be like, look, I know you're just here to muck around, you know?
I don't know, yeah.
Surely.
But I don't know why you would, because it's not as if it's like the good ones. It's not, you know, like
it's not cheap. No.
cheap. No, it's not a cheap exercise. So,
oh my God. Have you had any any supernatural kind of, because I've got a few stories that weren't mine but are family ones that I can talk about, which are really super interesting things that like there's no way it could happen.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like as a kid, I remember being at home and I would have been a teenager and my mum was out and hearing high heels on the floor and being like, oh, mum's home, and went out there and no one was there.
Oh, creepy. See, that's what I don't like in my own house.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really
like
creepy, but it's so funny like at the time. And then I was in the bathroom once brushing my teeth in the same house and I felt this like on my face and I was like, oh God, what was that? And I freaked out and I said to my mum, and my mum, who I didn't really know if she was spiritual or not, she goes, just ask the spirit what they want and ask them to leave.
Far out.
So yeah,
Did you? Or it was only that one time?
It was only that one time. I think maybe I did and they must have left. I don't know, but I'm not creeped out by that. I just feel like it's just, I just feel that it's of course it is.
It's like part of the world.
As a part of the world. It's just like our spirits. And I like solace in that, like when people pass and they're watching us.
That is true.
And we can communicate with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's still that connection. I think that's nice. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's scary stuff that happens all the time, but I've not been privy to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, I really enjoy it.
I like what you said about the people passing. When I was a kid, we always used to say that they went to the stars.
Yeah.
And then whatever one was the brightest was them like shining down to be like, hey, I'm here. And far out, that really helps with that, you know, that grief and that moving forward and like, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's true.
I think
my
it is
sister
true.
had a friend that passed younger, which was absolutely horrific and tragic. And my sister sees a butterfly all the time. And she's like, that is her. Like, I know it's her.
There you go.
She was visited by butterflies ever since she'd passed. Like,
oh, well, there you go.
It's got to be a thing. But my family have had weird stuff happen, though. Like, my great-grandfather on my mum's side, when he died, he was old. Like, it was really sad, but he was old. And my auntie used to have a necklace with his necklace or something he gave her. I can't quite remember why. It was a solid metal around the chain. And it came off, not broken. And the chain was still around her neck. In the night, it was off. And that was the night he died. Oh. How does that happen?
Oh. Yeah, no.
Like, how does that happen? I don't know. It freaks me out. And I've one of my brother-in-laws, I won't speak too much about him, but he has an Aboriginal descent and he hears the elders and he sees, and like there have been times where he's been like, you need to leave my house.
Oh,
like
there you
really
go.
scary, you know. And my uncle passed when he was 40. He just had a brain aneurysm and just died one day. It was horrific, really awful, really young, no kids, which is sad, but also probably a positive thing. And, my sister, when she was trying to fall pregnant, because it took her a little bit longer, she would see him in her dreams everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And I saw him when I had my first son, and I said to him, he had a wife and he had twins up wherever he was, and he met my son in the dream. Like,
oh, there you go.
Oh, it makes me want to cry. It was insane.
So all this stuff, dude, you're like,
it's insane. Like, this stuff I like, but the brother-in-law stuff with the spirit being like, leave my house. Like, I don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want that.
No.
I don't want that. Stay away from me. But like, there is a lot of stuff and I do believe, but I'm just too scared, I think.
Well, I think we need to get to book you in with an appointment with my chick. I love saying my chick like she's my personal psychic, but
I feel like she is.
But she it's like no BS. And you know, if you were like, I don't know, flip it, like if you were kind of taking your time to make a decision about something or umming and ahhing, she'd be like, just get your shit together and sort it out, you know. So she's like, and she swears and she's not
just a real person.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's not all like, your future.
No,
like that chick from Harry Potter.
Correct. And she's a mum and, you know, like, so all this sort of, she just gives it to you straight. I think you need to lean into that maybe. And then get that kind of like side of you sort of like tick the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm leaning into a lot of stuff lately. I'm leaning into the naturopath, which I
Yeah.
know isn't woo-woo. Like I know Chinese medicine can be a little bit, you
Some
know.
people think it's woo-woo,
It's
but
not woo-woo.
no.
It's all backed by research. Like anyway, I've lent into that and I feel like that's going to be really helpful on my journey to getting healthy and
Yep.
trying not to get sick all the time.
Yeah.
I'm leaning into a new gym sort of experience that we've been talking about. We're leaning into more podcasting guests, which is really exciting. So I don't know, maybe I do. I don't know. I'm going to sit on the fence for a while though because I am terrified.
Oh, any day. And like if someone
Terrified.
was like, let's see this psychic, I'm like, you're speaking my language. Like
I
how
find
long can we
that
talk for?
So funny.
Really?
Like, has she ever said anything to you? Obviously, don't share it if you don't want to.
No,
but
yeah.
has she ever said anything to you that was like so wild that you were at the time like, God, that will never happen, and then it's happened?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. Oh my God, I'm sure. I'm sure. She has said there'll be study for you after children, and at the time, like studying, learning something new. And I remember thinking, hell no, there was. And at the time, I thought that I couldn't think of anything worse studying while having a child,
Oh,
but I did
mate.
it.
How did you do that?
Yeah, with great difficulty. And yeah, like I get told a lot. I've been told by numerous people that I'll have 2, maybe 3 children.
You have said that.
And I've got 2 now, FYI, everybody. And the last reading I had was like, oh, you're trying for another child. And I was like, nope. And she was like, you better be careful because that child is like hanging out. And yeah, if you want one, you'll have it. And I said to my husband, guess what I've just been told? And he's like, cool, I'm off to the GP to get a referral.
And get away from me. Oh, far out.
Yeah, like it's
And it was a boy, right? They were
it
saying
was a boy. Yeah,
boy.
I've been told it's a boy. I've also been told a lot that I will be working from home with my kids around me, which is something that I kind of, with my job probably will lean into in the future. And this was before I even knew what that role was. So, yeah, interesting. Like, and they tell you stuff as well. Like, I see X, Y, and Z happening. Like, I don't know why Bali is a reference or whatever. And then, I don't know, like 2 years later you go to Bali. So you think, oh, was that the thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's also like a lot of, a lot of filler stuff too, where you probably don't know until it will happen like later or if it's even going to happen. I don't know. But it's, I'm trying to think of like what else that I have been told. It's kind of stuff that I can't really talk about because it's maybe like other people in my family. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
but I did once. So my friends and I would used to drive to a coastal town in Victoria. It was about an hour and a half away. This was obviously pre-children, and go and visit this woman who lived in this very isolated house. When I think back, I go
shack before.
shack. I didn't want to be,
Well,
but-
shack. My parents have a beach shack in Queensland.
Yes.
It's not shack-like, but
well,
Yeah.
okay. So she was living there. I don't even know how we got her details. I don't even know if she had a phone number. It was very random. And one of my friends got her details, and because her sister went anyway, so we went there. And now I don't know if she's still available now to do readings, but it was like a 2-year wait list the last time I
that's
asked.
insane.
Cause man, she is so accurate. And stuff that she sort of said to us at the time. I was going through a breakup, and some things that happened throughout this breakup, and she was like pinpointing step by step of what happened. Oh, okay, so then this happened and that happened, and I'm just like,
How do you even
know this? Anyway, we had this reading, whatever, and I went outside and I like called my friend in, and I'm like, okay, your turn. And I'm sitting outside just in like pure disbelief of just like digesting everything that happened for the half an hour or whatever. And then my friend comes out, and my friend's face, like she's looking for me. She doesn't know, and then like she looks around and she's like, looks at me and she's like, oh my God, like her face of just what? And what happened? And she goes, I said, I'll just go out and find Georgia. And she said, oh, she's sitting by the car. And she's like, oh, okay. And our car, we parked because we couldn't find this shack. There was no address of it. So we're parked like way up the road. And so she comes out and she's looking for me, and she sees me sitting by the car, and she's like,
yes, wow, but also like you drove in the car. You're going to be by the car if you're waiting to leave, right?
I know you could say that, but then I think you had to be there in terms of the realm of just like
after hearing all that, and then she was right. Yeah,
but you ask these people questions, like you go in with some questions. If you don't want to know the answer, don't ask questions. Like people saying, you know, like we went in there and my friend was like, "Is my partner having an affair?" And yeah, and she's like, "Yes."
What?
Yeah.
How do they just know?
Signs.
But like, what if they?
And they were, yeah. That's
really?
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like, what if they're wrong and then you go to your partner and be like, I know you're having an affair. It's like, what? You're just going to ruin your relationship in the trust element as well based on some woo-woo.
And you could also argue that she went in asking that question because she had doubts. So you could say
that's true,
that she already, like she already probably knew the answer. Why was she,
There's a for and against for everything.
Oh, yes, my friend. Mate, I am a for.
I used to love a debate in school. Far out.
Me too. I was always third speaker.
Not to fight with people, just to like prove the points and make a side.
Absolutely.
It was just really fun. I loved it so much.
And because I totally can recognize that people think it's stupid, it's not for them. I'm like, sure, totally. You do you.
It's because there's no science. If there was science to it, people would be like, oh, hell yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, and like like I've said, it is fun for me and it should be fun for everybody. You shouldn't go in there being like, oh, this is, this can't change or this is kind of like backed by this is going to happen.
Whatever choice you make somewhere in there will change the outcome.
Yeah.
Generally. It's like those movies you see where they go back in time and they change one thing and then the ripple effect is like it's a completely different storyline.
Yeah.
I reckon that's true.
For sure. So you've got to go in there with a grain of salt and a bit of a smile and just go with it. But I love it because my husband doesn't. He thinks it's all a bunch of hocus pocus. And I'll have a reading and then he'll be like, oh, okay, what'd she say? And then he's like,
and about me?
Yeah. What did she say about me? What did she say about our family? Like, what are we doing this year? So,
Oh, it's all woo-woo, is it, mate?
But it's like, because you get, you're invested in it and
it is interesting.
And stuff has come true for us. So yeah.
I'm just remembering that my husband did an interview on the radio with his friend that's in radio and a psychic interviewed him and I recorded it on my phone.
Oh.
But it was an old phone. I wonder if I still have it somewhere.
Well, there you go.
Because I would just love to know if what they said was where he ended up right now.
Yeah,
there was a lot of talk, as there is with men, about work and because the providing and all that is like a natural male sort of thing. From what I've been told, I'm not a man, but I wonder if it would came true.
There you go. Or if I feel like he would just be like whatever with that stuff, right? Like
he was receptive to it actually, which was
okay.
interesting. But it's not a conversation that we've ever really had because I'm a bit like closed off.
Yeah. Okay.
But I will say again in the future, I honestly think that did something because after that. I had a shift in my mind. I had a shift in my body. Granted, I was getting better from being really sick, so maybe it's just the timing of it all. But I just felt like something had left,
and that's the
which
thing.
is creepy.
Even if it is woo woo, I think if it like ticks a box for you, makes you feel better, then it's that's what it's all about, and it's like a clearing of your energy. And so the last reading I had, I was in like the depths of sleep deprivation and I was just like, oh my God, like this is how I go. I'm so tired. And so I wanted to ask her and I was like, will I ever sleep again? And she's like, when am I, like
of course
when?
You will.
Yeah. But I'm like, when am I going to sleep again? Like when? And she's like, all right, she's like, I'm sorry. I want to tell you that it's going to happen soon. It's not. If you can hold out for 6 months, then it will get better. And it did.
Yeah.
And it's not like, she wasn't like, oh, she's going to sleep through the night. It's going to be perfect. But she's like, you will feel better in 6 months. I can tell you that. But
how old was the smallest one at that age?
I can't remember.
Because there's regressions and like, we all know that. And that could not be her making an accurate prediction. It could just be part of the aging of your child,
Well, it's however you want to look at my friend.
It sure
but
is. The logic in me is like,
that, and you are totally right to have that logic. Yeah. Me, however, I'm like, okay, well, she said X, Y, and Z.
If that helped you get through that dark time, like knowing that there was going to be a change.
It did.
More power to you.
And it was like a countdown where I was like, okay, I can.
1 month to go.
I can do this. Yeah. And I don't know. I like, again, if you had said, oh, she'll sleep through, I'd be like, Okay, but when? Tell
Well,
me
yeah,
when.
I don't know. I don't have. Well, I've got some psychic stuff going on around me, but I'm not tapped into it.
Well, she might tell you that you need to be leaning into that. I don't know.
Oh,
like
far out. If she does, I don't think I would listen. It's like
Well, you don't have to.
It's
yeah.
like the naturopath. I like amazing. Would recommend. But she's like, you need to not drink coffee first thing in the morning. You have a green tea, and I was like, and I literally said to her, but that is my favorite part of the day.
And
like
green tea is
that is the
disgusting.
reason I wake up in the morning to scroll on Depop because I don't have access to Instagram, which has been awesome for the 100th time saying that on here. Scroll Depop and drink my coffee in silence in bed for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we all know that.
I don't think I'm going to stop it.
No, that you need some joy. And green
And
tea
it's a
is
weak one.
And green tea is foul. I'll just, there's no joy from green tea.
No. She's
So
like, you can put lemon in it. I'm
no,
like,
yuck. No, not
put
doing that.
ginger in
no,
it.
yuck.
Like,
No.
what's wrong? And I just saw you posted on our Tired Mums Fashion Club Instagram. Follow us. Same on TikTok. You posted a thing saying how researchers said that 2 coffees a day is like really great for our bodies. So why is she telling me not to have that much coffee?
Every time I see something positive about coffee, I share. I'm just like, share. Mums need to know, you know, like it reduces inflammation. Share. Done.
Well, she
whatever.
told me I have sort of an inflammatory thing happening. So if a black coffee can reduce inflammation, let me have it, woman.
Her thing was you need to have it on food. So it's not absorbed. Like, so your gut is not the first thing getting ravaged by this black coffee. That's what's the problem was.
It's not the first thing though. I drink a giant cup of water first.
Yeah, you just need to eat something. But I'm like you.
I don't want to eat at 6 a.m.
I agree. I'm the same.
I feel sick.
No. On the way here, I was like, I have not had one sip of water since I've gotten up. I was like so thirsty.
Oh, I got hydrolyte in here.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I drank my electrolytes, but I was like coming here, I'm like, I'm so thirsty because I just drank a cup of coffee.
Yeah. For 1 cup of coffee, you need to drink 1 cup of water, they say. And same with alcohol.
Yeah,
one wine, more water.
Yeah, but breastfeeding, drink 20 glasses of water,
It wouldn't even matter. Yeah. She told me I need lots of water because I'm on a medication that apparently makes you dehydrated, which I didn't even know. Like, no wonder I'm like, why am I so thirsty all the time?
There you go. Yeah.
You know, like, you think I would have looked up the side effects?
Or you were told, maybe. I don't know.
I probably was. I probably just motherhood. I was probably so in my head and
maybe,
I just didn't even take it in.
Maybe.
That's
but
just
anyway,
how it is in the big city.
baby.
It's a big city, baby.
Well,
Anyway.
in saying that, we're going to get you booked into the psychic. And then we're going to see if you will be a believer. But I don't know if this is, we're trying to work out the timeline. We've pre-recorded this before we've had our psychic guest on.
Yes, we've got a special tarot card.
So I have a feeling she might convince you. I'm going to have a session with her beforehand because it's up my alley and I can't wait. But you never know. This could be, she could like reach out to our, like the universe and get our listeners on board too in terms of,
The tarot card reading doesn't scare me as much as the proper, like she's still a psychic, but like the actual session where you're discussing all these big things. Because the card is like,
you ask a question.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you ask a question.
She just does they do a 3-card pull or something and then they discuss what that means for you.
Yeah.
Which is, this is the level of depth for the psychic below. I feel like it's just on top. So like you're getting a bit of information, but it's not the big scary stuff that I am fearful of. So the tarot card, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Go for your life. But the proper psychic, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, right.
But mate, I've been known to be wrong many times. And I've always. Usually I would say, and then I Google it. I'm like, oh, I'm wrong.
Oh my God. That reminded me of that episode when we were talking about how you had said like the Benny something music. And I'm like, Benny Hanna?
No.
Benny Hill.
It's Benny Hill.
Benny Hill. I know. And I had someone that was listening, screaming into the Spotify, Benny Hill. And like, because we were like,
did you actually?
Like someone I know was saying, how did you not remember?
That's
like
so
screaming
funny.
into their like.
Please comment that to us though in the future so we can be like, thank you for helping us.
And that is the ultimate mum brain, isn't it? Where we're like, oh no, Benny Hanna's restaurant.
It's like right here and your brain's like, I can't grasp it.
I feel like we're getting better. Like, you know,
I don't know. Are we?
I don't know, but probably getting better accepting at how like ridiculous our brains are. But
You know what? I had a couple people say like, oh, aren't you worried about the way you look and the way you talk online? And I'm like, I actually just don't care.
nah.
Like we've said a long time ago that we just do it for fun, and as long as it stays fun, then, you know, whatever. And I'm not going to like worry, and I can just Google something if I'm wrong. And I think it's good to be able to say, I'm actually wrong.
This is like a post-kids thing for me. Pre-kids, I would have cared. Post-kids, don't care.
Same.
Don't care.
The inner type A in me, Virgo vibe.
We should. Oh my God, I've got an idea for our next episode. No. Why you're type A and like why I'm like type B / type C, like kind of mums. Because I feel like.
What do you mean why? Isn't
like
that just your personality?
Things that you do that is type A. Like how you're you freak out and say, oh, I've used my freezer rations. I don't have any backed up food. And I'm like, freezer rations?
Like, what are you even talking
about?
I don't have that many. I've real slacked off in that department.
Yeah, see, but you freak out about that. Like that's your, you know, you're like
I need to bake. There's no pre-made stuff in the freezer. It's like got boys and they just never stop eating.
Yeah, but that's a good one for us of all the things that like what I do is
I'm writing it down.
Unhinged, and what you do that is like so organized, because you rub off on me with that where I'm like, I need to get more organized.
Very unhinged. Type A. Are you really type B? I just don't. Maybe I need to research that. I don't really know what type B is.
I think I'm more type B than type A, I would say.
I feel like you're kind of both.
Maybe I give off the facade that I've got it more together than I actually do.
Oh, I do not have it together. If anyone is on there, I literally just said to her when we had our wee break, I was like, I do not, like, no one has it together. Who has it together?
No.
Not even like 70-year-old people are still trying to like navigate life. And I actually said that to my son the other day when I was putting him to bed. He's like, I'm really sad, but I don't know why. And I was like, it's hard to be sad, and I get sad too. And, you know, sometimes you just don't know why. You just feel sad, and that's okay. And then I just said to him, but, you know, we're doing it together. I've never been a mummy before. I'm learning, and you've never been this age before. So you're learning too. And he was like, oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
bless.
we're all just learning, you know. So just
go us.
Be kind. Go forth and prosper.
That's right. I'm getting...
Isn't this what you do, Spock? Go forth and prosper?
Yeah. I never watched that show, but
neither
that's
have I.
I like really hurts doing that with my fingers.
I was just thinking, like, why is my middle finger like, ah?
You know what?
Oh, God.
Watch out for, speaking of muscles, getting old, but watch out for us when we start our gym regime. Watch out, world.
Watch out. Anyway, look after yourselves, party people.
We love you.
Oh, before you go, weigh in. Write us a comment. What sort of spiritual stuff has ever happened to you?
Yes.
Let us know, because Georgia will froth it. I'll be a bit like, ooh, but she'll love it. So tell us.
And while you're there, please subscribe.
Oh, yeah, and like.
And
we
love
always
you for
forget.
that.
And share.
Yeah.
If you would like to, obviously. But we would appreciate it.
We love you.
Anyway, goodbye. Bye.